I had this crazy idea to drive the Model S from Kansas City, Missouri to Fort Lauderdale, Florida, to have the car in Fort Lauderdale, my hometown, for Christmas. So the trip started, I loaded up the car with almost anything we could need, put an air mattress in there, had all the gifts for my girls to open, got in the car, and here we go. So if this is your first time finding my YouTube channel, I do videos as often as I can about pretty much anything Tesla. So if you like this video, would you go ahead and subscribe, give me a like, and share this video with your friends. Alright, so the time I'm recording this video, my trip was a couple of weeks ago. I actually did a video right when I got to South Florida, and this is my first time doing it. As I record this, I don't know how to do it, but I'm gonna figure out how to do it, and I'm gonna link to that video that I did when I got to Florida. It's gonna be somewhere around there. I don't know where it's gonna pop up yet, but I'm gonna find out how to do it, and I'm gonna provide a link so you can watch that video. Now, some of you might be Tesla fans, some of you might be just getting an introduction to Tesla, so this video is gonna be from the point of view as if you don't really know much about Tesla. So to start the trip, we start with the navigation system in the Tesla. You type in the destination that you're going to, it's gonna route the map for you. But unlike normal destinations, that's just gonna get you from here to there the quickest possible. Tesla's gonna build in the fact that you need to charge and use Tesla's supercharging network. So the way Tesla maps it out is gonna map out the best route for you to get there, making sure you don't run out of charge on the way there. So we routed it from my house to Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and it had me going through 14 different superchargers. The most, there were 150 miles in between the superchargers, and the way it shows that the percent that your battery will have left when you reach that supercharger, and it says the amount of time that you have to wait at the supercharger in order to have enough charge to make it to the next supercharger. So the video that I'm showing, some of the stops say I'm gonna have to be there for an hour, some of the stops say I'm gonna have to be there for like 25 minutes. From my experience, it always took more time, so I just built that into my trip. So one of the good things about this, other than of course superchargers being free for us, is that it didn't seem like one long 1,400 mile trip. It just seemed like a bunch of 150 mile trips. Like my goal was to make it to the next supercharger, not to make it all the way to South Florida. So let's look at some of the numbers that are involved in the trip. So I already spoke about some on the way down, but we can go over those again. On the way down, I actually drove 1,444 miles. I used 466.6 kilowatt hours of energy, and there was an average of 323 watt hours per mile on the way down. So did some money calculations with that as well. So here at home in our garage, we charge at 12 cents per kilowatt hour. So doing 466 kilowatt hours on the way down. So on the way down, we use 466.6 kilowatt hours at 12 cents a kilowatt hour. That would have been $55 if we would have charged all of that from home. So the superchargers for us were free. So $55 savings, that's nice. And if we compare that to gas, I drive a Kia Soul, and on the website it says that I get 30 miles per gallon. I don't think I get 30 miles per gallon, but we'll say that I get 30 miles per gallon with the amount that I had to drive, and we're saying that gas is $2.07 a gallon. That's the cheapest price here in Missouri right now, and Missouri has some of the cheapest gas prices in the country, so we're lowballing it. It would have been $99 in fuel for me to get to Missouri to South Florida. Okay, then from Fort Lauderdale back to Missouri, I actually drove 6 more miles. Where those extra 6 miles came from, I don't know. It doesn't make sense because I think I drove less. On the way down, there was a little bit more driving trying to find the superchargers. On the way back up, I knew exactly where the superchargers were. So where those extra 6 miles came from, I'm not sure. But the way back to Missouri, it was 1,451 miles. If you look at that image, You can see how cold it was when I got back in Missouri. It was -1 degrees. It was freezing, and that had a huge impact on the amount of energy that it took to get back from Florida to Missouri. On the way down, the weather was mild. Once I left the state of Missouri, I never reached freezing temperatures anymore. On the way back, it was cold pretty much everywhere outside of Florida. Huge impact on the amount of kilowatt hours that the car used. So again, only 6 more miles, but this time it was 535 kilowatt hours of energy. So that's about 70 more kilowatt hours on the way back than on the way down because of the cold weather. I'm going to do another video about cold weather driving because there's so much to get into that I don't want to bore you in this video, but it's coming because there's a huge difference. So on the way down, it would have been $55 in energy. On the way back, it would have been $64 in energy because of the extra energy that we used because of the cold weather. Again, it would have been about 99 bucks to use my Kia Soul. The efficiency on the way back was 369 watt hours per mile. So that was about 70 more watt hours per mile, again, because of the cold weather. For the entire trip, including the drive down, the drive back, and then all the driving around we did while we were in South Florida, it was 3,551 miles. So we did about 600 additional miles of driving in South Florida. I'll get back to that in a second. Total, we used 1,215 kilowatt hours. So again, if we charged that much at home, it would have been $145, but we used mostly superchargers. Well, it cost us about $20. So let me get into this to show you how we charge when we're in South Florida. So most of the time we stayed at my dad's house in Sunrise, Florida. In Florida, things are different than they are here in Missouri. They actually have their washer and dryer in the garage because the temperature is pretty mild year round and it's not like freezing cold in the garages there like they are here. So I just made an extension cord that went from his dryer outlet, and then I plugged in our car charger from there. It wasn't a NEMA 1450 outlet like we have at home, so I reduced it to 20 amps and it charged at about 13 miles per hour overnight, and that was all we really needed to get back to a full charge and be ready to go the next day. So this worked out perfectly for us. And to make up for the little bit that would have added to his electric bill, I paid my dad 20 bucks. So again, overall, I really enjoyed the trip. It was long, it was a lot of time in the car, but it was not that bad. I'm gonna go with my favorite and my least favorite superchargers. I'm also thinking about doing videos that maybe focus more on the superchargers that I stopped at. But my least favorite supercharger was probably Atlanta, Georgia. It's right in the middle of downtown Atlanta. Good thing for me, both times I went through there, it was like nighttime, so I didn't hit that horrible traffic that you hit on 75/85 in Atlanta, Georgia. But it's kind of hard to navigate and to find the supercharger. And then once you find it, restrooms could be a problem. So the area that it's in downtown Atlanta. When you go upstairs from the parking lot at night, nothing was open. So on the way down, absolutely nothing was open in the area, and I had nowhere to go to the restroom. On the way back, it wasn't as late, and they have public restrooms there, but the public restrooms were closed. Some restaurants were still open, so I just kind of had to tiptoe into a restaurant, pretend like I was eating there, use the restroom, and then run back out to my car. So for the convenience factor and the restroom factor and all those things considered, Atlanta, sorry, you were my least favorite supercharger stop. And my favorite supercharger stop, like there was a total 180 from the trip down to the trip back, because this might have been my least favorite supercharger on the way down. In Macon, Georgia. It's in downtown Macon. It's not a huge downtown, but it's like right near a bus station. The area just didn't seem that great to me. And then when I got there, there was a car there. There was another Tesla there, so I'm like, all right, felt a little bit comfortable. And they left like right when I plugged my car in, so I felt kind of uncomfortable, but I fell asleep, so I guess I wasn't that uncomfortable. But then on the way back, I came in, it wasn't as late, and there were other cars there. So the Tesla next to me actually had a cat in the Tesla, so they helped watch over my car while I was there charging. There were a few other Teslas there charging. And then around the area, I don't know if it was turned off the first time I came through. The first time I came through, it was like 4 o'clock in the morning, so they might have had the light show turned off. But when I came back through, like, they had this area of Main Street kind of decorated with Christmas lights, and I was just walking through enjoying the Christmas lights, and then they had like a light show that went with it. So while my car was charging, I was enjoying this light show. So Macon, Georgia, you get a couple of thumbs up for the light display for us waiting while our Teslas were charging. And I was also able to capture this cool pic of my Tesla in front of an old closed down gas station. So to me, it just says like the future meeting the past, and this car might be the death of gasoline. So I was also able to get this cool picture. When I came in that first night, I saw the gas station and I wanted to take the picture, and then I couldn't find it again on the way out. So luckily I found it the second time and I was able to capture the picture. So Macon, you ended up being my favorite supercharger on the way back, and overall for the trip you made up for it. So good job, Macon, Georgia. Alright, be sure to subscribe, as like I said, I'm going to do a video about cold weather driving for Teslas, and I have some other cool ideas coming up for the future, including a possible collaboration with another one of our YouTubers. So make sure you subscribe so you get notifications for when those videos come out. And if you are planning to buy a new Model S or a new Model X, I have a referral code down below in the description that's good for free unlimited supercharging for your Tesla. So you can take advantage of road trips like the one that I just took and not have to pay anything for fuel. So as always, I'd like to thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.